Welcome back to Cribside and Beyond POV. Today, we're diving into a story so many parents can relate to: the juggle between career, travel, and family. Our guest is a mom whose work often takes her away from home, but whose heart remains anchored with her children. We'll talk about the challenges of being a mom on the move, the way she stays connected even from afar, and her vision of building not just a career, but a legacy for her family. Her story is one of balance, resilience, and redefining what motherhood looks like when you're living life in motion. Thank you for joining us today, Melecia. We're so excited to hear
Okay.
about your journey as a mom balancing work and travel. Before we start, are you able to introduce yourself to our audience, how many children you have, and tell us something about you that's unique from other mothers?
All right. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. I think it's great that you're, you know, choosing this kind of topic. It's one of the things where career moms kind of shy away from talking about because it makes them emotional. There's this guilt that comes with, how do you build a career path but still be the best mom that you could be for your kids? So just a bit about background on myself. I'm a mom of two. They're 6 and 10. I have a 6-year-old son and a 10-year-old daughter.
Wow.
And both of them kind of grew up their entire life watching their mom work. So
Mhm.
definitely not a stay-at-home mom from the very beginning. Although with both kids in Canada, they had a 1 year maternity leave. So of course I was home for the entire year. It's a bit easier than other moms who would have to go back to the workforce just maybe 6 or 8 weeks later. So with and I want to speak on this because the Canadian government I think has done a great job in really allowing for mothers to have at least 1 year maternity leave and protect their career that way. Um, so going back to just who I am. I mean, I think that's a very loaded question too, right? A lot of moms just say, I'm unique because I love my children and take care of children, but I feel like that's all moms.
Mhm.
And that's such an innate trait of just being a mom where you put your kids first. But there's also this thing where the reason why you're working hard is also for the kids. And so a lot of people have their own opinion. Some people would criticize other moms for, why are you working when you still have two children? Time flies so fast.
Right.
Why not just stop your career first and then go back to the workforce 10 years later when they're maybe in middle school or elementary? And the thing is, for me personally, the reason why I have a different perspective on motherhood and also having a career is because it was modeled in front of me growing up. My mom was a career mom. For the longest time as I can remember,
Mhm.
she was already going to work. She was working. But why is it that when I look back, I never had this feeling of, oh, my mom was never around or my mom was always working. I always remember her going to work every single day, but it's the memories of those vacations or even just going to a restaurant, going to the mall, and having the conversations in the house. So when she gets home from work, we, have dinner together and then we talk about what happened to us that day. Every weekend is a family time. So what I took away from that experience is that I might not have the same schedule right now for me being a mom and with my job, but it's making sure that you're creating memories that you know will last a lifetime, and you're just hoping and praying that that's what they're going to remember and not just you being gone for maybe a week.
Yeah. So tell us more about like how your work trips are. So do you go on work trips often, or
Hmm.
do you just go to the office 9 to 5 then come back home? How does that look for you?
Yes. So My job is very flexible. So I every day is never different. If
Oh,
that makes
cool.
There's
Okay.
no such thing as a 9 to 5 thing with us. So basically, it's like running a business. My
Mm-hmm.
job, although I'm an employee, it's like running your own business. You run your own time. In fact, my current company right now doesn't even have a PTO, like paid time off,
Mm-hmm.
because it's unlimited. You get to take,
Unlimited
like,
PTO?
yes, like,
Really? Okay, okay, okay.
but because they also understand the nature of our business, of our job,
Mm-hmm.
we wouldn't take that much time off work if we want to generate sales.
Okay, and just so we're clear, you work in financial sector
Yes.
or
So
you do? Okay.
I work for a life insurance company,
Oh, cool.
and
Okay.
I'm one of the regional vice presidents for them. So my job is to work with financial advisors,
Mm-hmm.
them on our product, build relationships with them so that
Mm-hmm.
when they're thinking of which company to work with for their clients, they're
Mm-hmm.
thinking about our life insurance company. So
I
it
see.
it's a bunch of different other responsibilities. The reason why I travel a lot is because these financial advisors will have events in their cities.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're like just this morning, I went on Zoom and spoke in front of 500 people for just
Wow.
on Zoom. So they virtually now there was a choice of whether I would fly to Dallas
Mm-hmm.
for that event, or I would ask the leader or my client, can I just zoom in? And the reason why it's balancing. So I have to pick and choose work wise which events that I can just do it virtually or which events that I need to be there in person for.
Mm-hmm.
So today I was scheduled to speak at 8 o'clock, but I lost track of time because I
Mm-hmm.
came home really late from a 10-day work trip, right?
Where did you go?
So, well, technically it was a 7-day work trip.
Mm-hmm.
I was in San Diego for 5 days
Mm-hmm.
to be with my family. So that was a vacation,
Mm-hmm. Right.
right? So from Wednesday to Sunday, we went to Legoland because it was my son's birthday. We went to SeaWorld.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it was interesting because, even though I'm away, I had to take one phone call. And it's very important to have spousal support because we were lining up to go on the roller coaster ride. And then I just told my husband, okay, I'm gonna skip this ride because I really
Mm-hmm.
need to take this phone call. It's like a big account, big meter,
Mm-hmm.
and it's something it can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
So things like that, majority of the time he understands. But when it's something like that that's not expected, it could upset your partner,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So he was clearly upset. And then so after they got off the ride, it's like, oh, you said you were gonna be on vacation. So I just reminded him that, from the very beginning, since you met me, from day
Mm-hmm.
one, that this is the nature of my job.
Yeah.
Okay? I
So you
mean,
were already at your job when you got together with your husband.
it happened at the same time. So my
Okay.
first day in the job was the first day I met him.
Oh, wow.
That's like,
Happenstance. That's
yes.
nice. Okay.
But I think, long story short, I mean, the flexibility of my job also comes with a lot of commitments that I need to do, and it's just a matter of you can construct your day and your week,
Mhm.
your month, where you're really making room to have family time. So when they got home, so I was with them for 5 days in San Diego. Of
Mhm.
course, my son was upset that I have to fly off to Boston for a sales meeting,
Mhm.
and I'm not getting on the same plane as them.
Right.
They wanted me to be on the same plane back home, and then I go off my work trip. So I just have to explain, and it's hard when they're used to seeing you for 5 days straight, and now you have to kind of leave.
Yeah, now you have to
Gone
leave.
for
So,
7 days.
mhm.
Let's talk
Then I
about
came.
that more.
Yeah,
Because when you leave for your family trip or your work trip, is there any ritual, tradition, or anything you do with them before you leave to prepare them that you
Yeah.
like for 7, 10 days or shorter or longer?
yeah. I used to make a big deal out of it. Like I would like maybe just 2 days before I leave, I would tell them that, hey, mom's gonna go on a work trip, and I'll be gone for 3 days, 5 days a week. and that creates anxiety. So I
Mhm.
had to change that over the years, um, because it will be in the back of their mind that in 2 days I'll be gone. So what
Yeah.
I do is instead of warning them that I'll be gone, I'll just spend as much time as I can with them, and then I say things like, "Hey, what do you want? I'm going to this city. What do you want me to bring back
Mhm.
to you?" Right? Or I would make sure that I'm communicating with either my mom or my husband. Hey, what are you going to do while I'm gone? And then
Mhm.
I talk to my kids about that. Hey, in 2 days, daddy's going to take you to see this museum, or you guys are going to go have a play date with so and so. So I make them excited about that so that when they're looking forward to a certain event, they're not really thinking about how I'm not around. And so when I
Right.
came back from this work trip, the first thing said, "Hey, did you miss me? Were you sad?" Um, they're saying, "Yeah, we're sad," but for them, it's become a norm in a
Mm.
sense where, of course, they're gonna miss me, but it's not sad where they're upset that why was I gone for 7 days? Because during my 7 day absence, I'd go on FaceTime with them. Like for example, 2 days before, I was in my hotel room in between
Mhm.
meetings, and I spent an hour on video call with them, and they were just they were showing
Aw.
me their magic tricks.
Mhm.
I would be on FaceTime with them while they're having dinner, but that's still not every day that I'm away.
Right.
I think for me, drawing from my experience, if I just give them enough memories, then you
Mhm.
just kind of hope and pray that that's what they're going to remember versus being absent.
I'm sure they will. I mean, it kind of that's kind of what happened with you, right? Like with your mom and everything. And then it also kind of shows that kids are a lot of kids are just different. Like we're like their kids are different from each other. Like your kids are used to you, going out of town, but they also kind of adjust to what needs to happen in like your guys' lifestyle.
Hmm.
So
And
I think
also
it's a good thing.
you
And
take them sometimes on your work trips, right? And you
Yeah, that's true
travel.
oh,
too.
yes. So that's the balancing part. Like I get to bring them on my work trips, and even if it's a local thing, I bring them to events so they kind of see that this is why Mama has to go away. It just so
Mhm.
happened that this event is local, and I'm able to take you, and we could just hop on the car and you could see. My daughter has helped me put together events. He would like pass out brochures.
Oh, so
She's built
sweet.
relationships with some of my clients. Like, in fact, in my two pregnancies, it was my clients who gave me my baby shower. So
Oh,
they
Wow.
invited me to do training, and then I ended up doing training. And after that, they're like, "Oh, don't leave yet." And then all of a sudden, there's like these balloons, and they got me gifts. And and
Oh,
and,
that's so
and
nice.
so this business is a very relationship business. And I
Mhm.
explained that to my daughter too. Like, this is what I do when I actually hop on the plane and go somewhere else. It's
Mhm.
because there's more of these kinds of activities
Mhm.
that I have to be present for that I can't do just over Zoom. Because sometimes my daughter would say, "Why don't you just go in your office and like do more meetings?" And so having exposed them to that kind of, giving them a glimpse of what my job looks like, it
Mhm.
makes it easier for them to understand why I have to go fly somewhere. In fact,
Yeah.
sometimes they'll ask me where I'm going, and if it's a city that they want to go because I've taken them there, then they're gonna ask, "Oh, can you take us with you?" Like, especially when they
Mhm.
go to Vegas.
So they like Vegas.
They love Vegas.
Oh, that's so
for the
cute.
food?
No, for like the swimming pool because it's fancy there, fancy hotels,
Yeah,
environment.
it's like family oriented now.
Yeah.
So it's like there's a lot of stuff for kids there now and families.
Um, like
But
I
are
took
you?
a team out to go see Backstreet Boys,
Oh
but
yeah.
for so before from before so there was 2 nights. I took my daughter first, but then my mom said she wants to go too, so it was my mom, and
Oh, that's so
and then my dad
nice.
had FOMO, so he also can't went. So the three of them went, right? And then the next date was me and my clients. So it's kind of like I I try to involve them however I can, however as much as I can,
Yes. And I
Okay, I
really like
see.
in
that.
however way I can.
I
I
really
think kids like that. Kids like that.
I mean, I really like that as an example too. Like you're showing a dream.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is my work. This is how a
Mhm.
business works. This is
Yeah.
how it is to be, how to be confident in yourself. You speak in front of 500, 700 people, and she sees that. So you're living
Yeah.
the example. You're not just
Actually,
telling her you need to be confident about yourself. No, you're showing her
Yeah.
yeah,
being
Yeah.
one.
yes. I'm trying to look for because I came across an article not too long ago, and I thought it was just really perfect for this podcast. But they did a research and they said children, especially daughters, who were raised by career moms end up earning 29% more than other
Yes, I've seen that. Yes.
because
Yeah, I've seen that too.
it's it's, it's because it's being modeled, and
Yeah.
they don't, and they're like they learn confidence firsthand, they learn the value of hard work firsthand. But of course, like I remember, with Adremia, I had to leave for a work trip and she was just a year old and I was like crying on the entire
Mhm.
5 hour flight from Vancouver to Toronto.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So
Because,
It's
have there
hard.
been moments you've missed that are especially difficult? Like, moments in their lives that you remember that you wish you would have chosen to be there as opposed to going to that
Yeah.
trip.
yes, so in the beginning, I had a lot of those. But then what I also learned is so I made a few mistakes in the beginning of my career where, oh, I have to be at this event or else they're going to fire me kind of thing, right?
Mhm.
But I built my career to a point where if you build a good relationship with your clients who are also families, I mean, they're family people too.
Yeah.
And you just upfront with them and just say, like this morning, I missed my speaking time. And I explained I came from a work trip, red eye flight, and I missed my kids and I lost track of time. Because she was a mom too. She has 3 daughters. And she said, no, don't worry, family first. So she got me another speaking time and then she got me on stage to resume like 3 hours later.
Mhm.
So I think the world now, as a society as well, has become more accepting of like, you know what, we would actually want to be in business with you more if we see you putting your family first,
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I see that too. I see that too in
right?
on like business side where I do with the business and stuff like that. People are very understanding when it comes to children. So they
Yes,
they get it because they've been through it too.
right. Now the only thing is like in my industry, it's such a male dominated industry too. Like
Mhm.
I'm the only female RVP who's also visible minority.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay. So that
there's
has
a lot.
challenges then.
Yes, so the challenge is that is you don't want to make motherhood as an excuse too much. So you
Mhm.
just kind of like internally and personally try to be more organized with your time.
Yeah.
You're not also always telling your boss, oh, like my son's sick or whatnot, right? Um, Case in point, like end of our San Diego trip, my son ended up getting COVID, and I was literally almost gonna cancel my flight and move it and be late to the sales meeting a day later. But I saw the agenda for the first day. It was a very important day and I couldn't miss it being it because I just changed jobs too. I changed companies.
Mhm.
So I can't miss the first most important meeting. And
Yeah.
so, but I was willing to do it. Like in my head, okay, I'm just gonna not, take this flight and I'll move my flight later. But also, thankfully, his fever died down.
That's good.
So I didn't miss it. But when I got to Boston, because I didn't really tell my boss what time I took the latest flight possible.
Mhm.
So I literally landed in Boston like 5 hours before the meeting would start. So
Mhm.
my boss was texting me like, "Hey, did you get in? Like, are you gonna, or is your flight delayed? Like really wanting to find out if I'm gonna show up on time." I said, "Yeah, I wouldn't miss it." And then, but I did tell him I almost
Mhm.
actually missed it because my son was sick.
Yeah.
So I think they could, as long as they see that you're trying your best to like be good at your job,
Mhm.
and they know that you're really hardworking.
Yeah.
You built a reputation where even though I started my with a new company, and then had 2 week vacation within the first month of being hired.
Mm-hmm. Was
Right.
that how your job usually is, or?
So I booked those vacation before knowing I was gonna move to a different company.
I see. I see what you
But
mean.
but
Okay.
even then,
That's
they
good
didn't
they honored it, huh?
100%. So
Yeah.
it's also important for a mom to not just look at a company and like how much they pay you for the role. You need to also get to know who you're going to be reporting to.
Yeah.
So if they understand that you're a mom, like be upfront. I was upfront in my interview. I said, because they offered me a certain income level, and I said I cannot take this job at this income level, and here's why.
Mm-hmm.
Not because of greed, but because I need to hire help so that I can do this job properly. So
Sure.
in the interview, I was upfront, and
That's a good thing to say, actually. I need to hire help so that I can be at the best at my job.
yeah, and so they understand. Like I said, I'm like running a business. I'm gonna hire an employee,
Mm-hmm.
run my business, my personal business,
Yeah, your personal business.
right? And so they understood that. So now, it's all about communication too. And I would never say that there's the right formula to be a mom and a career person at the same time, because not all jobs are the same, not all companies are the same, not all managers are the same.
Mm-hmm.
If what you can control as a mom though is what you do when you're with your kids.
Mm-hmm.
I
Right.
have a friend, single mom of 4 kids. She had to divorce her husband,
Mm-hmm.
and her youngest at that time was 4 years old, and she was like 1 year just by herself and the 4 kids. She had a 15-year-old daughter and a 4-year-old daughter, and then 2 sons in between.
Wow.
So the kids had a hard time during that time, but I ask her now because all 4 kids are like they're what in their 20s, and the youngest is 14 years old, but the 3 older ones, they started their own business. They're making six-figure income. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
the other son is close to making $1 million a year just from selling clothes online
Wow.
at 19 years old,
That's
because
nice.
he learned to make ends meet. He
Mm-hmm.
started with bringing snacks to school and selling it to their friends in
Mm-hmm.
school, and would like maybe a $3 Lay's potato chips. He would sell it for $6 in school. So things
So
like
many kids are doing that.
Yeah.
I think it's a trend.
Do you try to apply this in your own home? Like, do you teach your kids the value of earning money or what money is all about? Like
I
saving.
no, not yet, but that's one of the things I want to start doing.
Mm-hmm.
Although though, like we did a bit of like lemonade stands here and there,
Mm-hmm.
especially with the Dreamia. But eventually, that's something I really want to expose to. In fact, like last year, we wanted to roll out this business, but I didn't have time. So again, not a perfect mom, but it's still on the table where I really want to do it for them.
Yeah.
Um, I teach the value of money when they're trying to ask for toys.
Yes.
That's a good lesson.
How?
Or that's a good segue, actually, for
Right, but
for
it's
trying
sometimes
to get
hard to
them to
apply.
learn.
Yeah.
And this is where the disconnect is, because I want to apply the value of money, but then I have the guilt mom, the mom, the working too much mom guilt
Mom guilt. Yeah.
happening,
So
where
so
I just
speaking
buy
of
them.
the speaking of the mom guilt that you just said, so how do you manage that guilt?
Ah, it's more really changing your mindset.
Mindset. Okay, okay.
There's really nothing you can do with the mom guilt, like because that's subjective and that's relative to what you're going through at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm in the middle of my mom guilt, I would instead of buying them toys, I would spend time with them. Before it was buying toys.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
now it's and then I explained to them, I can get you this toy, but that means I can't take you to Disneyland 2 months from now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's kind of
Right.
like letting them choose. Do you want more experience based or more material based?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
If I do get the material, then it has to be something that's gonna contribute to them, honing a certain skill
Mm-hmm.
or making or exercising their brain, like Lego,
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
very practical.
When you spend
right?
time with them, like what sorts of things do you do? Like, do you do any activities like at home or do you go out and travel? Or both?
Everything, both, like whatever I can do.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes
Nice.
it's all about the little things where they would just remember that. I remember my mom walking with me and we were having this conversation. So it doesn't have to be travel. It doesn't have to be just staying at home. It's communication.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a lot of parents say, "Oh, I spend a lot of time with my kids," but they're not really communicating. They're in a play place where the kids are
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
running around and the mom is just
Right.
there, right?
mhm.
Nothing wrong with that. I do that a lot, especially when I'm behind work. So while they're jumping up and down in the trampoline, I'm doing my expenses or doing some emails.
Mm-hmm.
Once they're done with that play center, I have to make sure that I'm actually either eating with them so that we could kind of continue to have a conversation.
Yeah.
I think in the grand scheme of things, it all comes down to seeing your kids as the reason why you're doing things. It
What is
Mm-hmm.
the reason? What is your why?
Yeah.
Like, we haven't asked that. What is your
Yeah.
why?
What's your why?
my why are my kids,
Okay.
So you
right?
know,
So when I'm working, they're the reason why. Like I mean, I could, and I've thought about this. Maybe I can get a job that doesn't require me to be away as much, like
Mm-hmm.
50% of the time. Maybe I can just be a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
And then I take a look at, okay, but me though, the reason why I'm like this is because I saw my parents be present, but they still had their career.
mm,
So there's like a balance then.
Yes,
mm-hmm.
there's a balance.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Okay. Well, Nadia, do you have any more questions? I think we were able to really go through everything that we wanted to ask you. You pretty much took the reins.
You
So
did.
thank you.
Thank you.
You really did.
But I have
Um
a question though.
so
Like I think with balancing work and home, right? You were talking about hiring someone to help you at home. But if you don't have if you like for example, you cannot trust any other people to take care of your kids. For example, you can't find a nanny or an au pair who is up to your standards. Like, do you have any other support aside from your husband, right? Because he works too, I believe, right? He works.
I'm actually glad you brought that up because I owe my career to my mom. I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't
Mhm.
have even considered having this kind of career path if I didn't have a mom who would take care of my kids the way she did and continues to do so.
Mhm.
Um, I would never leave my kids when they were younger to someone else. In fact, we did try. I mean, we tried and it lasted literally 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I'm like,
That's
and
right.
good thing I have a supportive husband where his job also allows him to kind of call in sick when I really can't miss a certain event.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really my mom. I've had my dad also help out, like, because my mom would be busy taking care of the kids, so my dad would be kind of handling the kitchen. Um, and this kind of makes me think about myself. Like, I need to take care of myself and live longer so that when it's Adremia's turn, I can be there for her and take care of her kids
Mm-hmm.
Right.
and not like really
That's
rely.
nice. That's a good way to look at it. Like it's more generational, right?
Yes, but also, having seen other moms where they did have a choice because maybe their mom is not as strong anymore, they're older, or they're not in the same country. I actually salute moms who are able to leave their kids in daycare, right? Because at the end of the day, it's I don't want moms to think that, oh, it's going to be a hard life, so I'm just going to abort my baby
Oh, yes. There
or
are
put them up for
options. There are
adoption.
options.
I
Yes.
would never. I would say, you know what, your kids will see it as long as you have a mentally strong, if you're mentally strong, even if they see you maybe 10% of the time, either they're just in school or daycare and they only see you because you're having to do two, three jobs. right?
Yeah.
But if in the 10% of the time they feel your love, the love goes a long way.
Yes. I actually saw in one of the articles, all they need is 20 minutes of pure like one-on-one time a day. Right? So
Yeah.
20,
And that's what they'll remember.
yes. I mean, maybe more, but generally 20 minutes.
I like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, you already touched on this, but what advice, like one advice, would you give other moms whose work takes them away from home?
Really goes back to what I've been kind of saying this entire time. Quality time. It's not quantity, it's
Mm-hmm.
quality.
Okay.
It's and I thought because I knew that because I was home for my 1 year maternity leave,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I thought I would have quality time, and it's like, no, I realized you could be spacing out while you're with them, you're in the mall, so it's being present. That 20-minute advice, I like that. Like it takes 20 minutes, and that's what they remember.
Mm-hmm.
But thanks for having me. I think and I know the two of you are moms yourselves, right? And I know you guys have your own careers as well. And I'm just gonna say this. I draw a lot of my inspiration from my sister too. The way she takes care of her kids and the way she's putting a system in place, because that's something I've never put in place for myself. And I'm actually gonna, pick my sister's brain on how she's doing it, how she's putting them on a schedule, her kids, how she's on top of their nutritional, like their nutrition too. And that's something that where that's my weakness as a mom. Like I feel like I could do a better job taking care of them more holistically, not just spending time with them and buying them toys, but also getting them in time for bed, which my husband takes care of because I'm super bad at that. Feed them the right kind of food, which I'm so bad at because if I'm gonna just go to McDonald's because it's easier, and also screen time. So when I see my sister, if she can do it without even my mom's help, then I can do it. So I think it's also drawing support from fellow moms.
Yes. I really think we are all learning still. It's a learning process. I don't think that learning will ever end. So, thank you, Melecia, for coming to our podcast. Thank you for joining us for this inspiring conversation on Cribside and Beyond POV. Our guest has shown us that motherhood doesn't always follow one script. Sometimes it's lived in airports and hotel rooms through video calls and quick reunions, all in the pursuit of building something bigger for her family. Her journey is a reminder that presence is not only about physical space, but about intention, love, and vision, and that the sacrifices moms make today can create opportunities and wealth for generations to come. If this episode encouraged you, share it with another parent who is navigating the balance of career and family. Until next time, may we keep rewriting motherhood with honesty, strength, and heart.
I love it.
See you
Thank
next
you.
time.